glorified wood show, which technically makes it a stick show.
Huh. Sheldon Cooper must have paid a lot to get his pony OC in a self-insert story, am I right? Be glad I didn't randomly reference a ton of pop culture shit. This is Mark, aka the Wolf Pony, and I'm here to review The Mod Couple. Now, this episode I've been wanting to review since I first heard of it. Pinkie Pie continues to reign supreme as my favorite character because she continues to have a lot of good episodes along with my second favorite, Fluttershy. This episode really hits home as this is like a lesson that Pinkie Pie has yet to learn. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm just reminded how in the past seasons, I feel like that all the episodes focusing on Pinkie Pie's relationship with her sister had shown a certain flaw within Pinkie, and this episode actually addressed that by adding a love interest. I know it sounds like a big
oh no
moment, but in my opinion, it works. Now let's get started on the review, shall we? Applejack, has the episode been able to present the moral? I gotta respect the writers for handling this moral well. Basically, if you've seen any kids show before this, you'll know that the message is probably the most easiest thing they could do. But what I like about this more is that they bring up a certain continuity between Pinkie Pie and Maud. Think about this for a moment. In every episode that focused on Maud, Pinkie is always there to help her. This moral ends up teaching the lesson that other ponies can know them very well, and that is okay because your friend or sibling still cares for you no matter what. I know that people will point out that this has been done with Rock Solid Friendship, but here's the thing. Rock Solid Friendship is about her making new friends on her own. Here it not only deals with a relationship, but it also deals with how Pinkie might have to accept the fact that she isn't the only one knowing her sister more than others. This is a lesson entirely new to Pinkie, and I love how they managed to present it here without insulting the character. I give kudos to them for making another moral that's relatable to kids and adults, especially kids who has to deal with the same struggles when more friends or someone important came into their buddies' lives. I can feel the struggles that Pinkie must be facing here. Rarity, how pretty is the episode? Now, when it comes to the episode's art, I gotta say, the one that actually sticks out to me is Mudbriar's design. Yes, he does look a little closer to Sheldon Cooper, which I'm pretty sure everyone who hates that show will get flashbacks of the awful pop culture comedy. Don't worry, he doesn't do that, thank goodness. But back to the design. Now, many would say that it's kinda too close to Mud, but I say it stands out. For one, he seems to be more outgoing in his appearances despite the fact that he's more socially awkward than I would like to believe. You could tell this guy wouldn't get the joke even if it was explained to him. Still, the color schemes looks pleasing and his expressions do differ from Maud as he can show a smile and a wide-eyed look when he wants to. Plus, he has the most coolest visualization ever when he goes to his thinking mode. But am I the only one who noticed that this thinking mode reminds me of this? Yeah, let's play the track that should have been here. But seriously, that is the coolest thing ever and I hope more episodes does this. Pinkie Pie, how funny is the episode? Okay, so the humor is not as good as I hoped to be. Now, again, I'm glad that Mudbriar didn't suffer the making of pop culture references and all that. Let's be glad the writers didn't went that far because, jeez, I can just imagine what it would be like.
Bazinga. Bazinga.
Anyway, the humor really didn't hit hard with me because I kinda expected it this way ahead and it really didn't have a gut-punching feeling. The only thing humorous that keeps coming up is when Pinkie couldn't stand Briar correcting her, and even that gets old at times. I mean, it's funny at first and I get that it's also the point of the episode, but it just kinda gets old at the halfway mark. That kinda sucks for me as the beginning had a really damn funny joke to open with. I won't go into too much details, but let's just say that Pinky really does like giving continence to her sister. So yeah, other than those 2 gags, the rest is mostly a dilemma for Pinky to face, which isn't a bad thing. Episodes of Pinky having these personal issues are really good. It's just that the past episodes before this had good humor along with a serious nature for a good counterbalance, and I would like it if they added more jokes for Pinky to pull off. That is just me, as I mostly see Pinky episodes having those kind of 2 important elements. So overall, this episode only has 1 good joke, which is disappointing to me. But hey, it at least started off good. Rainbow Dash, how cool, action-packed, and how the visual gags play in the episode. If there's one cool thing about this episode is that we actually got a relationship focused on the foreground for once. Now I know that people will point out Cadence and Shining Armor, but we really never had an episode exploring their relationship. In fact, that is still only in the comics, which still annoys me because there's a template for a good episode about them. But I digress. Here, it not only focused on that, but it also managed to balance that well with Pinky's own conflict here. Maud being a lover to Mudbriar really makes sense on the fact that how Maud is so open with him. Think about it. Ever since she got her first friend being Glimmer, she is now a little more open to the ponies that she talks to. It makes total sense that Mudbriar opens her up a little more compared to her sister because she's able to express her feelings without hurting her. Let's be honest, Pinky is not some pony who takes rejection no matter how small it is. Seeing her fighting against Briar for a simple birthday party shows how much the 2 care about Maud. Only Pinky doesn't get Maud's full opinion, which makes sense that she didn't ask for anyway. She is always so generous, and Maud didn't know how to break it to her. I mean, the last time that people rejected her parties, it didn't end well.
Oh, they're not so bad.
With how they handled the situation here, it really dawned on me that Maud might be keeping this to herself for so long. And now that Mudbriar came into her life, she now has more courage to actually speak up. This actually really fits into her actions. Yeah, this entire situation and the conflict of the episode really is well deserved with the character's actions. Fluttershy, how the emotions play in the episode. I gotta say, I really do feel sorry for Pinky on this one, yet I relate to Maud a whole lot. With Pinky, she wanted to make sure her sister is always happy, and that is just very sweet. However, Maud's situations, I can easily see people relate to the most. The fact that she has to trust in some pony else just to confess and not hold back, it just hits you in the heart, man. Hearing Maud dropping the truth bomb on her just makes you feel the pain that she must be suffering, even if she doesn't express it through her face. Except that one time in Friends Forever 29, but that was weird. Telling the truth to someone, especially when it involves your sibling, is not an easy task to do. It's probably why she loves Briar so much, because it allows her to speak out and be herself a little bit. I mean, she isn't doing this because she doesn't like her sister anymore, it's just that she just doesn't know how to say it to her. I'll be honest, I am in full support of this relationship, and I can feel the love that these 2 must share for however long they have been meeting. Wow, that is a lot of emotions I'm noticing in this episode. Kudos to the writers for actually managed to do this without insulting anyone who's watching this. I'll deal with you later. Twilight, how the story is well told. The story of Pinky dealing with the fact that some pony else other than her knowing her sister is a good plot both on paper and execution. As I said before, it holds a bunch of continuity with all the previous Pinkie Pie episodes with Maud. Seeing Pinky going through a sudden realization is such a great conflict. Mudbriar being the more open pony compared to Maud is a good foil in contrast to Pinky, and the fact that he doesn't hold back on his words really makes the interactions more fun to listen to. He actually challenges Pinky on her knowledge around Maud, and that actually got me in shock. I know people would say Pinky is a bit of an asshole, but this is Maud's birthday. Before she got Truth Bomb, she just thought her way was the best. No one really dared ask her to come up with something different because she never got a no. This is also thanks to the pacing, as the build up to that revelation is fantastic. From beginning to end, I couldn't find any issues with the story progression. Also, the ending is just very sweet. Maud having 2 of the most important ponies next to her while seeing the party from afar. That is just pretty cute. I do have the nitpick of how the townsfolk not even notice the cutout, or they are just playing along. It wasn't clear, and quite frankly, with how the townsfolk is written throughout the series, it doesn't help in their case. But really, it's hardly noticeable since it's at the very end. Overall, this is such a great story. Dear Princess Celestia, here are my thoughts on this episode. I'm just gonna say it now. This to me is the best Pinky episode of the season by far. In fact, this episode is ranking high on my most favorite Pinkie Pie episodes list. I don't know if that will change in the future with season 9 and all that, but until then, this episode solidifies on why I love Pinky so much. Her character is pretty much tested, and you could see the emotions running through her face with how she deals with others knowing her sister more. Mudbriar is a pretty good character in his own right, and I hope we see him more down the line. While I do get why everyone else seems to be getting tired of the Pinky and Maud episodes, this shows us a new perspective and something different to the previous episodes before it. It managed to strengthen the connections, which is why this episode had a very long impression with me. Also, yes, I do hope we get episodes with her other sisters, but for now, I am very happy with what we got. Anyway, I am Mark, aka the Wolf Pony, and I hope the next day will be even better. See ya!
And truth be told,